Once upon a time, business as usual was often good enough. No more. Where we are going, good enough is dead.
I invented the web just because I needed it.
The World Wide Web is not just part of our lives, it has revolutionized our world.
It is an empowering tool.
It's like the internet has become a brain. It's the smartest brain in the world.
The web is how mankind communicates nowadays.
But with such a powerful information system transforming our business, our relationships, our knowledge, and our politics,
I think it's nearly impossible to pick on one aspect. I know that it's very helpful for people to have, this one thing is the reason why I was successful, but the only way I could characterize it is that it's just a tool. It's a tool that makes things that we do in our everyday lives so much more rich and easier and convenient and fun. And the essence of it for me is that there isn't a predetermined, way of behaving on the web. It's what you make of it, and that's true for a business, and that's true for an individual. And it's that tool and the power of that tool that you can use as an individual that I think is what makes it so kind of unquantifiable, I guess.
Operation Alpha will grow up fully immersed in the world of IoT and augmented reality. The buying journey is no longer linear. It's becoming more fluid. Consumers start, research, compare, and fulfill their shopping experiences across multiple channels. Selling across the omni-channel landscape will become the biggest competitive advantage for brick-and-mortar retailers, giving consumers the ability to shop, pick up, and receive at any time from anywhere will become the norm.
It takes money to make money. If you want to expand your brand, increase sales, and grow your business fast, then you have to invest money into your marketing to make it happen. You have to invest in digital marketing. Your business should be very visible in the online world. Why? Because your potential customers have moved online, where they're actively searching for products and services.
I don't think there are many people left on the planet who have access to electricity and computers who would ever go back to not having the internet, right, in 20 years.
91% of your potential customers use search engines frequently. This explains why 94% of businesses rank SEO highest with growing importance as a source of leads. Can people find you on search engines? Local search has grown 300%, from 1 billion in 2007 to 4 billion in 2013. 78% of local searches done on a smartphone result in a purchase, and on tablets, 77%. Your potential customers are now using their mobile devices on the go to search for local businesses and buy things. Is your website ready for mobile commerce? 62% of companies reported an increase in sales after designing a mobile-friendly website. Global m-commerce sales reached 133 billion in 2013 and will reach 626 billion in 2018.
So, what is AdWords? Put simply, AdWords is Google's online advertising platform that helps you reach customers when they search for you. AdWords allows you to take advantage of the millions of searches conducted on Google each day. You create ads for your business and appear on Google search when people are searching for your business or what you have to offer. The concept is simple.
Well, the core idea behind AdWords is, could we create ads that are as relevant as search results? And one of the big issues with advertising, at least in the market of 1999, was banner ads. Banner ads were, one, really expensive to create. They probably cost $2,000 or $3,000 of professional graphics design help to create one. And two, people were seeing a lot of banner blindness on the web, where people, because they just seen so many banners, had just learned to ignore that shape, that size, that kind of space that flashed and revolved. And so we thought, Well, if we really want ads to be as good as search results, we're going to need a lot of them. We have a lot of web pages. That's one reason we can come up with such good answers to searches, because we have a lot of web pages to choose from to present as those answers. But the beauty of text ads is they're very cheap and easy to create. You can create a new sentence for every possible search, right? So this person searches for this, then you answer them with that, and you can actually have people write those creatives much more quickly than you can create banners. So it really worked for advertisers because, one, they could be much more targeted. Two, they could create their advertisements much more cheaply. And it worked for us because it really enhanced the user experience by giving us a large volume of ads so we could find the very best ad for those users. And search occupies this really magical moment in advertising where demographics, billboards, commercials on television, they're really trying to find people who are likely to be thinking about buying a service or think about buying a product. And with search, we don't need to guess. We know what they're thinking about because they just typed it into the box. And we were like, well, for an advertiser, that's the perfect moment.
Which meant that marketers had to start seeing the internet as something that was essential to their business as opposed to another marketing channel. So it really shifted, it augured a very important shift of all of business to using the internet as a platform for business as opposed to, oh, it's that thing over there where we buy some ads and put some banners up. And we're only beginning to see that shift truly take fruition. I think it was a pivot point in the history of how the internet economy works. And I think we're kind of in the second inning now, really. But it was a very big first step.
There's another phenomenon that we're seeing as well, though, which is the expectation of consumers to have it happen now for them. They are just getting used to the fact that if I'm doing business with you, you should have information about me. You should be using that information so that when I'm interacting with you, it's about me, it's about my account, it's about the stuff, about my size, it's about my interests, what I've bought from you before, and I want it to happen now. I expect immediate access to the information I want. And so this whole raising of expectations is challenging from the marketer side, because there's this on-demand nature that consumers are expecting with this degree of personalization to it that just requires a lot in terms of capabilities on the marketer side.
So this is something that I call the conversation economy, or the economy of conversation. But you imagine search as the opening salvo of a dialogue, and I say to the machine, right, which I increasingly don't see as a machine. I see it as an intelligent agent or something of that nature, and I say, mortgages, green bray. Okay, I am, if you're an intelligent marketer, I am declaring my desire to either refinance a mortgage in a town called Green Bray, or I'm buying a house in a town called Green Bray, or something in that general neighborhood. So you unpack that sentence I've just spoken as an opening salvo of a conversation, and you respond back, saying something back to me, which is your ad, that says, lowest mortgage rates, Green Bray, California, or whatever it is. If I hit on that ad, and where I come next and what I do next, you better be ready to engage with me in a deeper dialogue. I want to tell you more. Well, I just bought this house and I'm looking for a good mortgage, or my sister bought a house and I'm researching it for her, or whatever but you need to be able to go back and forth and instantly know how to be in a dialogue with a customer who you've never met, know very little about, except they said these two words, right? That will change over time. Now you may know their Facebook profile, and you may know a lot more about them, and technology platform is getting much and much, and we'll get into that conversation. But in essence, as a business, you need to understand how to go back and forth, have a conversation. This is not something that most businesses are very good at, right? I mean, just call an 800 number and get someone, half a world away who, doesn't know who you are and is reading a script, right? So this shift to understanding how to leverage a technology platform to have a conversation with a customer at scale is a huge shift in business. We don't yet really understand how big a deal this is. It changes how you think about marketing from a vertical practice to a horizontal one. It shifts how you think about product development. It shifts about, the kinds of approaches you take to pricing in real time. I mean, it makes my head hurt to think how big a shift this is in business. And it all starts with a blinking cursor and a sentence, and before that, we didn't have any way to demand of a brand or a marketer, hey, we want more, we want to hear from you, right? And that is a pretty cruel environment. And so if you're good in that environment, you can win big time. And we've seen huge wins where companies get very good at understanding how to have a conversation online. Amazon, very good at that, right? And what do? Well, they pretty much displaced, 10 to 15% of the retail business in the United States, right? That's pretty good, right? So it's it's understanding how to have that conversation with customers at scale and leveraging a technology platform to do it. And leveraging the fact that as a culture, we've shifted how we ask for things and what we expect in return when we ask. The speed with which, the fluidity, the expectation that whoever we ask will know enough to give us a smart answer. It's all Google's fault, right? Because in essence, if you look at the interface of computing prior to the internet and prior to Google, you take a mouse and you hover it over something and click on it, and something would open. And then you click again, and then something would open. And then you got into a spreadsheet or a word processing, and then you're like disconnected working like this. And now you speak and expect a response. Now you don't use your spoken word yet, although you can with an iPhone app. But generally, you speak through typing the words. But it's natural language. It's a big shift in interface. And we expect the world, when we speak, to completely reorganize around what we say in 0.2 seconds, because that's what Google does. And so now you're Walmart, and you're supposed to do that. That's a huge business challenge. And Walmart has thousands of people on that business challenge right now. And they have for the last, since Google came out. And they're not alone. Every major company is focused on this. And that's a huge story. It's a story I find compelling. It's a story I started a business in. It's a story that, I think will have legs for a few decades anyway.